Hello, everybody. We are live. It's another My Music with me, Graham Cave. In a minute, going to be speaking to Meghan. I'm going to ask her what's in that drink that she's having. Is it milkshake? Is it something else? I don't know. We're going all the way to Nashville after this. I don't know about you, Meghan, but I feel energized after watching that video.
Wow, that's a great intro video. And must I say, the cat part, that cat part jumped out at me. I was like, whoa, like fuzzy, furry cats.
That cat is great. Were you a big fan of sort of puppet-based shows as a kid? Did you ever watch Sesame Street?
Yeah, I did. I watched Sesame Street. I watched, Barney and all of that. Cats the musical, not really puppets, but still creepy.
Back in the day, for me, it was things like Fraggle Rock as well.
Fraggle Rock, Fraggle Rock is.
That had a wicked theme tune, as far as I remember. Down in Fraggle Rock, or something like that. Yeah, it was great. Do you know what? People will be watching this later and singing along and going, damn, you've got that earwormed in my head now for the rest of the day.
It'll really be in your head for days.
Yeah, exactly. People will be going around going, do you remember Fraggle Rock? They're talking about it on this thing that we watched. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
And Big Bird always used to scare me a little bit, though, in Sesame Street.
Yeah, the way that he just lurked around and just kind of snuck up on people just was.
Hello, what are you doing? Oh, my word. Now, listen, you say you're in Nashville. I mean, here's the thing about Nashville, right? I said to you before we came on air that I feel a little bit underdressed now because really I feel like I should have the whole Nashville attire on.
Okay, yeah, like a cowboy hat.
Cowboy hat and everything else. But you see, Nashville's one of those places that immediately when you hear the name Nashville, you think about music, right?
Correct.
Where I'm based right now, Chard, Somerset, nobody thinks about that as a music place, right? Mm-hmm. But Nashville, it's immediately transports you to music.
It does.
How much of Nashville just resonates with you and gives you kind of vibes to want to make music?
Just so much. So I've only been here for a little over a month and I am obsessed, right?
Really?
You walk down, I actually live pretty close to the downtown area, to the Broadway area. So it's like a 28-minute walk and I'm a New Yorker. So I can walk 20, 30 minutes, no problem.
That's one street in New York.
Yeah. Broadway is also a street in New York. So it's a totally different Broadway experience.
It's very different, right?
Totally different. But I think being around this energy of these musicians that are making a living on their tips here, that's something that, that doesn't really happen in New York. Everyone, as a New York musician, you most likely, unless you're like a Nepo baby or you have rich parents, are doing things, you're a musician, but you're also working in an office, or you're a musician, you're also a server. Like these people that are playing in these cover bands or whatever on Broadway, they are making their living from performing. And I think there's something so inspiring about that. To see that live in action is incredible. And it just pushes me to reach bigger for my dreams.
Yeah. When did your dreams start? What sort of age were you when you thought, do you know what I want to be when I grow up? I want to be a musician.
I mean, I went through so many different career paths. I was like, want to be a SeaWorld trainer. I want to be a vet.
Hang on, hang on, right? Stop right there. You've got to go right from the start. I want to be a SeaWorld trainer.
Correct.
Really?
Yeah. You know those people.
Yeah, I know what it is. I know what it is, but that's very, very specific, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame that mindset on my Florida upbringing. Right. I grew up in Orlando and constantly I was around like SeaWorld commercials and going to SeaWorld. And there's something so exciting about the fact that like you're swimming with these creatures that could eat you.
Yeah. I mean, it's mad when you think about it, isn't it? It's
Daredevil.
It's absolutely bonkers when you think about it.
It is. And
then you say vet after that.
Yeah, I've always loved animals. But honestly, I don't think I could have handled being a vet because I don't think I could have handled like putting animals down. I'm way too much of an empath. I couldn't just like be like, oh yeah, that's Roger's down. Next time to move. Like I couldn't do that. I'd like cry the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I don't think I could handle medical.
Well, and vets have to do certain things to animals, which, you know, frankly, seem cruel, don't they?
Totally.
Right. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, we were watching last night. Sorry to move away from the music subject for a minute, but we were watching a program which you probably have never seen called The Yorkshire Vet. It's very, very popular over here. If you can Google it and get it on the interweb somewhere, that would be great. Okay. All right. So it's a group of vets from Yorkshire, but one of them is very, very famous for removing animals' testicles. And you just think the animals. I mean, that you completely understand why that has to happen completely, but I just sit there feeling very, very sorry for the animals. That's not something I could do to an animal.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, it is incredibly rough. You know, I understand somebody needs to do that, and it's important in order to maintain the chain of things, etc. But it's not somewhere where I'm going. Besides which, I hate blood. I really struggle with all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And needles and injections and all of that.
No,
you know, I when this COVID thing struck and they said, well, you know, you've got to have injections in your arm. That was kind of, oh my word, really? Not another thing you've got to have an injection for.
I know, between that and then the test that stick up your nose and hit your brain center, I was like, this is just.
I'll tell you what, you should try doing it with 6-year-old children. They really don't like that. Ooh, they really don't like that. So you're in a place that's incredibly creative.
Yeah.
And you're sensing that. How is that manifesting itself in terms of the effect it's having on your music? Because your music at the moment seems to be transcending slightly. Listening to your latest music, whereas before, I guess a lot of people sort of, I hate pigeonholing, but kind of probably put you more in a kind of folky type of genre. Oh, okay. Suddenly you've become this Adonis of, you know, massive sound and electronica, and you know, you've almost unleashed your inner Kate Bush.
Yeah, wow, that's a compliment from a British person. That's a huge compliment. Thank you.
Yeah. Are you suddenly feel like you're moving into your, you know, running up that hill phase?
It's funny you say that. This song, I wrote this song and then I brought this song to my producer, and Kate Bush's song had just resurfaced. And I listened to it
from Stranger Things, yeah.
From Stranger Things, and I listened to it, and I was like, okay, there's something about this that's reminding me of the song I just wrote, and I was like, I don't know what it is, so I brought it in, and the direction that the song took was because we listened to Running Up That Hill and we were like, what is this vibe? Like, there's something really mystical about this song. How can we, without taking directly from the song, how can we inspirationally put it through Father, Oh Father, and how can we make it kind of work? And I think we, Harper and I both did a really great job of being able to borrow certain aesthetic elements from the song, but not make it the same song.
Oh, totally. No, you're not gonna be in court any day like Ed Sheeran is today for
Ed Sheeran or like Olivia Rodrigo. Like I lose respect for artists when they're claiming they're original, but a lot of their ideas are samples or, they're rewriting the lyrics to a song that was already created. I'm such an artist that's like authenticity 100%. Like, I don't want to be doing something that someone else did. I want to recreate music like in my own kind of crazy brain way.
Yeah. But I just, for me, you seem to be moving into that, as I say, that land of sort of this strong female sort of with this kind of almost mystical element to them.
I think it's my mystical era.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Florence would be another example.
Oh, I was just listening to her. She's so cool.
Yeah.
She's so great.
And do you know what? So in terms of elements that maybe sort of make the comparison similar, it's the pulsating, it's the kind of, it's that kind of, heading somewhere.
Right. Yeah, the journey.
It's like a heartbeat, isn't it, in the song?
Yeah.
But also in a way that I suppose vocal delivery wise as well, that you've got those grandiose moments, but also it's almost like more of a monologue as well. Do you know what I mean by that? But not it. I want to say that without it sounding like negative, because the word monologue sounds negative in a way. Monologue.
No, I love that. I love that, and I must say that this song, I believe, came to me as a poem.
Right. Okay, I can see that.
It's not your typical song form. Like, it's just not. It's like here, we're going here, and then we're going here, and then we're going here, we're going here, we're going here. And I think intentionally in this moment that I was processing all of these things after the pandemic and with what was going on, I was just listening to voices, and they were kind of telling me like, okay, we're going to go here and we need to say this, and we're going to go here, we're going to say this, and then we're going to go here and we're going to go here. And I hope this kind of gives people like inspiration who are like, well, I can't write a song the way that Taylor Swift can, or I can't write a song the way that James Taylor can with the same form. I'm here to tell you that you can change your own song form and it can work. There's a lot of indie artists who don't follow that. And I think they should be really applauded, because they're showing the audience and they're showing the listener that look what you can do. You can take a monologue and make it into this beautiful experience, or look, you can take a poem and you can make a poem into a song. And to anyone who's like, oh, I can't write songs, I don't know how to write songs, it's too hard. Well, can you write a poem? Start with a poem and then let it build, and then let the inspiration just kind of really hit you and see what you find out.
I think that's marvelous. I'm slightly in awe of the cat behind you that is looking at us throughout the whole of. Look at that cat.
I have a cat problem.
Is it almost like a godlike figure of a cat?
It definitely is. I think it's almost like
a spirit.
It's like a duchess. It's like Duchess cat. Yeah, it's like Duchess. My fiance's mother got that for me.
Oh well, Very nice too. Very nice too. It would probably slightly unnerve me. Maybe if I was sat eating dinner there, I'd be thinking it's about to steal my dinner. Yeah. When's it going to pounce?
Yeah.
So this is the start of a body of work, right?
Yeah.
This song. What else is coming then?
Oh boy.
I love it when people say that. Oh boy, the floodgates are opening.
Yeah. There's a lot coming before we get the full album. So I think the next song is coming out in either July or August. And you know, I haven't announced what that song is yet, but I will. Stay tuned. Yeah. And then I'm releasing 2 more singles kind of month or two in between, and then the full project will come out on November 3rd.
Ooh,
so
okay. So you've scheduled, you know what you're doing, etc.
I scheduled. I have my stuff together somewhat.
Yeah. You're working to a time frame. So you can't tell us what, but from your gut feeling for this and where it's going, do you feel that the whole thing's going to be a fairly big statement in terms of your life?
I think it's huge. This album is so like autobiographical. Like I've really enjoyed kind of putting my stories in this album, but also creating within it. Like, you know, I'm in my mystical era. So creating within it this fairy tale of how you come out of abuse and trauma. Because I think a lot of us have had things that we have had to bury and we haven't been able to face. And I really hope that this album can kind of take people on that journey and guide them and show them that it's all right to talk about what happened to you, that you can be stronger because of what you went through instead of hiding it under a box and wishing it just didn't exist. I really want to empower those who have been through severe CPTSD, PTSD.
So listening to this album is going to be cathartic.
Yes.
For you, potentially for the listener, and it's going to be therapy.
Oh yeah. I mean, I already put it on and cry. So good luck to the rest of you.
Wow. We're just going to be on the floor.
Yeah.
Is there a way?
There's some upbeat. There's a couple upbeats, but most of it is like little.
Okay. Have you looked into? Is there any way that you can package an album with tissues?
Actually, literally, you just took a journey into my mind. I am making tissues, so anyone who buys a record or a CD gets Ear Baby tissues.
And that's a genuine thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I really did. I stepped right into your mind there.
I think you did.
Being in Nashville is this where your home is for the duration of making this album?
Yeah, so I made the album in New York City, Brooklyn. But this is where I will be to release the album.
This is where you're going to be to release the album.
The recording has occurred in New York City at my last.
When we get to the, have you done the artwork for the album yet?
Well, I have the first. Yes,
I've seen the artwork for the single, which is amazing. Who did that?
Okay, my cousin. She lives in Holland.
Hello, cousin.
Yes, hello, Abigail Toulis. Musicians, look her up. She's amazing. Give her work. She started off with a photo from a photo shoot, and I got to shoot with Shervin Linez, who's like one of the biggest music photographers ever, and he was incredible and amazing. And I really believe I like manifested that, because I still don't know to this day how I was able to work with him, but it was just a beautiful day. She took that photo, and I told her I wanted this really like just almost very like mystical painting, Mona Lisa kind of thing. And she made that herself. She has an incredible eye for things that compel, art that compels, that stands out. And to have her working with me on this project is as you know, she's my cousin, she's my family, and it's really great.
Do you know where that would look great? It would look great as the design on the back of a pack of cards.
You know what? I agree. I need to find out who designs the back of the pack of cards and be like, I have a better picture for you than what
right now. I just think it just has that look. But that is also, I mean, if that's the quality of the art that's going to be all the way through this.
There's a lot more to come, but I love how it.
Next year's album of the year could be yours, couldn't it?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Right there. I'm just saying, you know, because it's absolutely stunning. Are there any? You say there's maybe a couple of little upbeat songs on this. Are there any real surprises for you on this album?
Yeah, so I'm going to say, I know we kind of didn't go into the musician thing and how it came to be a musician, but I'm going to say I'm a classically trained opera singer. So I got my degree in opera, and this is the first album where I have found my voice with it. You know, I think when I first started releasing music, I was so afraid to let that out because I was like, it's too different. People aren't going to like it. They're not going to like the power. And I kind of toned back and I went into like indie voice land.
Do you know what? I can actually hear that now you say that.
Mm-hmm.
On some of your earlier recordings, you're almost straining the other way, aren't you?
Yep. Yeah.
You're kind of like, I've got a big voice. I know how to use my diaphragm. I'm almost going to sing more from here.
Yeah.
And hide the fact that I'm trained in that way.
Yeah.
Now
that happened. And I think a lot of it had to do with, you know, my upbringing in college. We were not allowed to sing other genres. We were only allowed to sing opera. They would get really mad at us if we did, you know, like music theater or jazz or pop. Like we weren't allowed to cross over. So I think it's been a journey for me to find that crossover with my music. But I think I finally found it, and I have to say it is evocative. It is stunning the way that I'm able to do these luscious backups and things and bring that part of me that was always in there, but I was afraid to show it out into my music. It's on a whole other level. You know, I mean, now I'm being called like a Madonnas, an Adonis, a priestess. Like I wasn't called those things before. So clearly she needs to come out.
Have you ever managed to have a conversation with Charlotte Church then?
I haven't, but I do remember, I think like Charlotte Church, wasn't she?
She was classically trained. She had a number of albums when she was really young, where she had this massive voice, etc. And then
I think she was smoking or something.
Yeah,
lost her voice. Yeah.
Well, she's back singing. She sings.
Oh, okay. I guess
but
check her
she you know, I think she had a very difficult period where because she you know had multi-platinum albums as a young girl, where she was, you know, classically singing classically, and then, you know, to then try and navigate that into the kind of music she wanted to make. I think that was quite hard.
Okay. I have not checked her out. I don't even know.
Or maybe I think maybe you could become best friends on.
Okay, yeah, maybe
on Instagram or something.
Well,
if that's a thing
we're doing the crossover thing. I mean, not a lot of people are doing this. You know, a lot of people are kind of like, well, that didn't work for me, so I'm not going to do it anymore, right?
Yeah.
So I hope we can inspire those people who have got a degree in vocal performance, and maybe opera's not something that they wanted to do, because opera sure as heck was not something I wanted to do. I just did it because my voice supported me in that way, and I didn't really have anything else I wanted to do. So I just was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna do opera. Like, so yeah, I just, people should know that the most unique qualities that you can bring to the recording and to the performing, those are the ones that the audience and the listener is really going to be pulled into by.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be afraid of your vibrato. I was afraid of my vibrato. I did not like her. I was like, ooh.
For people that don't understand what vibrato is, it's that little wobble in the voice.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, as an opera singer, you have that. You use that as a tool. Yeah?
I do.
But you can use that as a tool in singing these songs as well, and that's that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued. You were brought up singing opera, or you had that training, etc. There must have been, in your listening as a listener of music, there must have been something in there that turned your head to an alternative way.
Yeah.
Turned you to the dark side or the light side, depending on which way you look at it. What was that? Yeah. What was the thing that turned your head the most and made you go, right, okay?
So, I mean, I'm going to say my father was very musical. My father and his siblings would always get together and sing around the campfire, and they would sing, 1970 songs like Simon and Garfunkel,
American Pie.
Just American Pie for days. All of the verses, like we would not leave until
my goodness.
And I think, and James Taylor. So being around that kind of music, I think really awakened me. And Loggins and Messina. Like my dad, when I was a literal baby, there's this photo that I have where I'm like in the crib and I'm standing up and I'm like so compelled, and my dad is playing. He's probably playing the Christopher Robin song by Loggins and Messina, which was like what he played when I was a baby. And I think like just being around that and just seeing how beautiful music was and how it impacts people so much. It changes their lives. It saves their lives. It changes their moods. It supports them when no one else is supporting them. I think I just always was like, okay, this is powerful. This is so powerful to be able to take your experiences to help other people. And there's something about it that it always just felt like this is processing. Like, when I was 17 and I was exploring the songwriter within me, I had my dad's old guitar and I would just play chords, and I like recorded this song and then I put it on MySpace. I don't know if you know what MySpace is, but
of course I know what MySpace is. I mean, there may be younger listeners out there that go, what on earth's that?
Okay, so I mean, MySpace was the pre-Facebook. That was the place to hang out, to share.
It was very music driven. A lot of musicians and bands used it back in the day and kind of had their homepage there, if you like.
Yeah, and they were, like Taylor Swift. She was an indie singer on MySpace. Like, believe it or not, like it was very bizarre when that was happening. I remember that's how I found out about her, was MySpace. But yeah, so I shared it, and I was just processing, and I kind of realized like, this is how you process your emotions. This is how you take your emotions from the dark to the light. You sit down and you face what you're feeling, and you don't hide away from it or turn to drugs or turn to alcohol or do this thing. This is how you take this hard ass shit that life is throwing at you, and you come to the altar and you move through it and you heal it. And that's what you do. And I think when I started realizing that I was just like processing in my room and writing songs, and, you know, I kind of wasn't really taking myself seriously, but I was getting little signs from the universe that what I did affected someone, right? Like little things, like, hey, that song that you wrote. I remember I played an open mic in New York City that my friend put on. I played my song, The Breakup Waltz, and someone who was, you know, there was like a curtain and a back room, and someone sitting at the bar, I came out and he's like, hey, did you write that breakup song? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh my God. Like, he's like, I'm going through a breakup right now. And like, that's everything I'm going through. And I was like, okay, well, I'm really glad I could provide that for you. You know, I was getting people's feedback in little ways, and I was like, okay, well, this just maybe isn't just something you're just doing for fun. This might be something you can like really use as a mechanism to help people heal through their own emotions.
And is that where the emo-positive thing comes from?
Because that is where that comes from. Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously, you know, some emo over the years has been quite negative press because associated with it, yes, it's emotive, but it's kind of been a downward spiral from it, if you know what I mean. So what you're trying to do is take, this stuff's emotional, and it's and it's heartfelt, and it's a journey, and it's real, and it's, it's gonna maybe bring up things whilst you listen to it, but I want to take you on a positive journey out of it. Yeah,
exactly. I want to show you that even in all of this darkness, there will be light at the end of the journey.
That's a beautiful thing.
And I think that's what any human wants to hear when they're going through a hard time.
I think so. I think you're right. I can't wait to hear the rest of this album. Of course,
maybe I'll send you a little sneak peek for putting me on.
You are a wonderful person. I promise I won't, leak it anywhere.
You're not gonna leak it to like Paris Hilton or whatever.
I might tell people how brilliant it is.
Okay, that's great. You can
you can leak it to me, and I'll tell people how brilliant it is, and then we'll just leave them gagging for it.
I know.
We'll just leave them going, but what's it sound like? Well, here's the thing, folks. You're going to have to order it and pay money for it, and then you can find out.
Yeah, we actually did make up a genre for the album, and the name is pretty amazing, and I haven't shared it yet, so I'm going to share it with you because I think it's brilliant.
Exclusive.
So exclusive. Ear Baby is a future-facing retro Americana album.
Wow. Yes.
Credit to Harper James, my lovely producer. He came up with that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Future facing
retro
Americana.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it?
Hope you're ready, Hannah. We're shaking things up.
So there's electronica in there. There's a little bit of where Lana Del Rey's been at the moment, that kind of thing in there. There's kind of, wow, it's just amazing, isn't it? Oh, so if you like the sound of that, folks, and why wouldn't you? Because it just sounds tremendous. Then do check out Meghan's new work as it appears, and it will be leaked to you between now and November for you to enjoy. And then when November comes around, you'll be able to buy the whole thing. And are you releasing this in any kind of physical format, or is this just going to be digital?
No, I'm gonna do albums, and I'm gonna do CDs. If people still use CDs, and I'm probably not gonna order a lot of CDs, but I'll do some CDs.
I've got 6,500 of them in my cupboard.
Okay, so we do have CD lovers out there.
I love CDs. I love cassettes. I love vinyl. I love anything physical format because it means you've actually paid for your music.
Yeah, I have to do that because it's like the album cover is too epic for words. Like if you think the cover is good,
yeah,
just wait.
Yeah, and also that picture and probably some of the others that are going to be produced for the album are just going to look absolutely amazing on a t-shirt as well. So when those come out, you know, you'll want to buy one of those as well, just to, you know, go along and say, yeah, I'm with you all the way with this. Meghan, it's been wonderful talking to you today. I feel we've connected. And it's actually, I feel quite emotional already, and I haven't even listened to the rest of the album, which is great.
I think,
and it's only a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, you were going to say.
Oh, I just said so it's funny. So I'm Meghan Pulles. Yeah. And it's good for my marketing. Pulles is actually my middle name, but it's my artist name is Meghan Pulles. So I've been, you know, kind of really resonating in the fact that I think there's a reason it says Pulles. I think I, as a human and as an artist, pull things out of people in a way that they sometimes can't even comprehend. So
I think you're absolutely right. Name to watch, everybody. Meghan Pulles. This album, which is do you have a title for the album?
Yes, it's called Ear Baby.
Ear Baby. You can't forget that, right? You cannot forget that.
Yeah.
Ear Baby. sounds like if you say it with a Cockney accent, right? It sounds like something.
Yeah, baby.
Like Ear Baby sounds like something that a taxi driver would say. Yeah, a taxi driver would say on a Friday evening. Ear Baby.
He's picked like an Australian's picking someone up at the bar. Ear Baby.
Ear Baby. All right. Come over here. Come over here. Bring me one of those beers.
Oh man. Yeah, maybe I opened myself up to some weird stuff, but there is symbolism behind why it's called Ear Baby.
We'll find out more as the journey unveils. Do connect with Meghan on all of the social media platforms. If you've enjoyed this, do share it with all of your friends, not for my sake, but for Meghan's, so that actually more and more people find out about her and go, that sounds brilliant. I want to know more, and I want to download the music as it comes out. Will you come back and talk to me again when the album's out?
Of course I will. You're great, Graham. I love that you like took a trip in my brain and we just intuitively.
I don't know how I do it, but every single time it just happens. It might be years of experience, or it might just be that I'm going mad. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'm just in touch with people. You know, because I do spend my day talking to them on here, so that may be it. I believe communication is the key to everything in life.
I agree.
Until next time, this has been my music. As I say, if you've liked this, subscribe to it and share it with other people. Do check out Meghan's music, and please do come back next time. Meghan, thank you so much for coming all the way from Nashville today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll stay in touch. Bye, everybody. Take care of yourselves.
Bye, everyone.